those that were selected. A conspiracy of embezzlement was meticulously planned and executed that took place behind closed doors. A fabric of deception is woven using lies, money that has been stolen, and records that have been manipulated. The individuals responsible were under the impression that their secret would be concealed, protected by silence and covert influence. However, the walls are beginning to close in. There is an increasing body of evidence. The embezzlement conspiracy is soon to be revealed to the general public. They wanted you to be the one to bear the blame, which is the most damning component of the situation. Your name and reputation were intended to serve as a smokescreen for the atrocities that they committed. They were able to conceal themselves in the shadows and position you as the perpetrator, relying on your lack of knowledge and your faith in them. In any case, the game is over. It is time to make a decision. That is the end of their falsehood. The selection of you was made with a cold, planned meticulousness. The choice was not made by chance or in a state of fear. It was not a random selection. Your patterns, tendencies, and weaknesses were evaluated after they observed you, examined you, and analyzed your behavior. When they saw someone whose trusting nature could be exploited. Someone whose reputation for integrity would make accusations against you seem startling and eventually believable. Their preparation of the chance shone with the promise and possibility that it possessed. The way in which they decided to explain it struck a chord with your goals, your requirements, and your ambitions simultaneously. All of the signs of proper conduct and official sanction were present in the papers, which gave the impression of being authentic. On the other hand, hidden clauses, subtle connotations of accountability, and paper trails that were designed to lead investigators directly to you when the inevitable collapse occurred were all examples of the trap that was hiding beneath this facade of respectability. You would have been the linchpin in their strategy of deflection, the cornerstone of their escape plan, and your signature would have been on the envelope. Nothing about the time was a coincidence. They had the intention of approaching you at a time when you were vulnerable or distracted, times when your typically sharp judgment would be clouded by the circumstances or emotions you were experiencing. They would put pressure on you to make judgments quickly, creating a sense of urgency in order to keep you from carefully examining what was in front of you. This pressure would be delivered with professional accuracy. It would not be sufficient to immediately raise suspicions, but it would be sufficient to hasten you past the important moment of giving careful attention to the situation. On the other hand, an extraordinary event took place. An internal defense system that is of divine origin was activated within you by the cosmic forces that rule this universe, which are forces that are much beyond the comprehension of ordinary humans. Others refer to it as intuition. Some people refer to it as discernment. It is referred to as the third eye, which is the seat of one's inner understanding in ancient literature. Regardless of the name it goes by, it came to life within you at the very instant it made its appearance. It was something that you experienced, the unexplainable discomfort that settled in your core when they approached, the subtle discord that hummed beneath their carefully rehearsed words, the shadow that seemed to flicker across their expressions when they thought you weren't looking, and the inexplicable heaviness that descended upon you when you considered their offer. This was not a casual coincidence, nor was it the result of neurons firing at random. During this time, your spiritual immune system was able to identify a threat that your conscious mind had not yet recognized. This is the knowledge that your ancestors passed down to you, which has been kept in your DNA. and you paid attention. This internal warning system was something that you paid attention to, whether consciously or unconsciously. You might have hesitated, you might have questioned, you might have flat out refused, or you might have simply waited, allowing the opportunity to pass without making a statement of commitment. You did not fall into the trap that they had so meticulously set up, regardless of how it had shown itself. The singular act of spiritual obedience that you performed changed the path that your destiny would take. They diverted you off the road that they wanted to inflict upon you, which included false accusations, public humiliation, legal entanglements, and the possibility of disaster. Before it could become a reality, the gloomy future that they had envisioned for you failed to materialize. Now, in a state of frenzied panic, they scurry. The well-crafted escape plan that they had devised does not exist anymore. Their choice of a scapegoat has, for some reason, managed to avoid being taken to the slaughterhouse, and the dogs of justice are getting closer and closer to their door. They are looking for solutions in a frenzied manner, but time is running out. Each hour that goes by brings fewer and fewer options. There is a mask of togetherness presented by the power pair that is responsible for this operation. Yet, as the strain increases, fractures begin to emerge within their partnership. You are here for a reason. If you feel the call, answer it. Click Join to unlock exclusive content, deep insights, and a powerful community. This isn't just a membership, it's an awakening. Step into your divine purpose. Join the chosen. A single individual serves as the calculating genius, the icy intelligence that was responsible for designing the false system and ensuring that it continued to function during the years of deception. A mask that covers collusion and greed is the other person, who serves as the public face, projecting warmth, trustworthiness, and community spirit. However, it is imperative that you comprehend one fact with complete clarity. They have not completely abandoned you. As a result of the huge amount of time and effort that they have invested in establishing you as their whole person, they may still make an effort to bring you back into their web through a variety of different avenues. There is a possibility that a new person will approach with a revised version of the initial offer. Unanticipated channels of communication could be the source of communication. It is possible that the form will be altered, but the purpose will stay the same: to build a connection between you and their financial malfeasance before everything falls apart around them. At this moment, the cosmic forces that initially shielded you are standing by, ready to warn you once more. On the other hand, your conscious awareness is now a part of this spiritual protection system. Warning has been given to you. You have been given a new perspective. At this moment, your discernment is active and attentive, and it is searching for dangers that would have gone unnoticed in the past. In the meantime, the mechanism of revelation continues its forward march with unstoppable force. The embezzlement operation that has been operating in the shadows for such a significant amount of time is finally on the verge of being exposed to the general public. The particulars will be shocking, even to those individuals who consider themselves to be jaded and worldly. The breadth is much more extensive than what even the most suspicious person could have envisioned. Reverberations will be felt across your community as a result of the list of casualties and the magnitude of the damages. When this knowledge dawns upon the world, it is imperative that you comprehend the actual significance of it. This is more than simply another scandal. It is yet another illustration of the greed and corruption that are inherent in human nature. There is a cosmic statement that what has been concealed will be brought to light as a result of this disclosure. Secrets are only tolerated for a limited time around the cosmos. Truth possesses a solidity and weight that will invariably drag it into the light, regardless of how deeply it may be buried. The revelation of this design to the general public also serves to validate your inner knowing in the most profound way that is ever feasible. You have now been entirely vindicated for that emotion, that doubt, and that unexplainable reluctance that you experienced. It is now established that your spiritual perception, which may have been questioned or disregarded by sensible brains, including maybe your own, is genuine insight of the greatest order. Unpredictability is produced as a result of the desperation of persons who are cornered. It is possible that their behavior will grow more erratic as their options become less and as they go through the process of being exposed. The use of strategic unpredictability is frequently the last choice for individuals who are on the verge of complete bankruptcy. Maintain a heightened awareness of any unusual interactions, bizarre coincidences, or unexpected communications that may enter your life. Blessed by His grace? Click Super Thank You and give $100 to spread His light. Your gift plants seeds that grow His kingdom. Be the blessing. It is the documentation that acts as your shield. If you have already communicated with these individuals, you should keep any records of such conversations. Make sure to document the specifics of any new approaches or interactions, regardless of how innocuous they may look. Make a note of the dates, times, material, and responses you provide. It is possible that this information will prove to be beneficial in the event that they attempt to fabricate a story that involves you. When it comes to protection, your inner guiding system continues to be the most dependable. Continuing to function within you is the same intuitive understanding that helped you from falling into their original trap. Always put your complete faith in it when it warns you of impending peril. This is the voice of the wisdom that is found throughout the universe, coming to you directly through your own mind. It is possible that the impulse to speak about what you know may get stronger, particularly if certain public revelations begin to emerge. Fight against this impulse. The appropriate authorities should be given the opportunity to investigate and resolve the matter through the appropriate channels. Your comments, regardless of how well-intentioned they may be, have the potential to be distorted or misread by those who actively want to cause misunderstanding. Within the context of this particular embezzlement plot, the cosmic significance of this entire affair reaches far beyond the exact elements of the conspiracy itself. Your life is a powerful illustration of universal principles acting with perfect accuracy, and your scenario serves as a powerful demonstration of those principles. It was not by coincidence that you were protected from this danger. Rather, it was by the divine choreography of events. By means of your own heightened awareness, the forces that govern this universe, call them anything you will, acted to protect you from any potential harm. This is evidence that there is a spiritual existence that exists beyond the realm of the corporeal world. Proven evidence of direction that functions beyond the capabilities of the average human mind. The fact that this warning is being delivered to you at this very time carries with it a great deal of significance. You are currently at a pivotal point in the progression of your spiritual development. With the successful navigation of this potential hazard, an initiation of sorts has occurred, which might be thought of as the crossing of a threshold into heightened consciousness. In this particular situation, your discernment has been successfully exercised, and it continues to get stronger with each activation. The individuals who, without your knowledge, conspired against you ended up being the driving force behind your spiritual development. The presence of their evil intentions, rather than bringing about your demise, hastened the process of your waking. The exact plan that was implemented with the intention of ensnaring you has, on the contrary, released you more fully into your own strength. This is a representation of the cosmic concept of transition, in which darkness finally acts as the catalyst for greater light. The way forward calls for unwavering vigilance, in conjunction with an unprecedented level of confidence. Maintaining vigilance and alertness in the face of ongoing dangers that may materialize as the situation develops is essential. You should put your faith in the same inner guidance system that has already proven to be dependable in offering protection from potential dangers. Watchfulness and submission, two qualities that appear to be diametrically opposed to one another, come together to form a unified strategy for navigating reality with increased spiritual development. In the next days, as the complete truth about this embezzlement plot is brought to the attention of the general public, you will see expressions of astonishment, incredulity, and fury ripple through your community. The awful disillusionment that comes along with betrayal will be experienced by those persons who place their confidence in these folks. Many accusations will be made. People will propagate rumors. The news will cause individuals to struggle to digest it, which will lead to widespread speculation. It is important to keep your composure throughout this tumultuous period. Maintain a neutral stance and refrain from getting caught up in the emotional turmoil that is surrounding this circumstance. You are here for a reason. If you feel the call, answer it. Click Join to unlock exclusive content, deep insights, and a powerful community. This isn't just a membership, it's an awakening. Step into your divine purpose. Join the chosen. As a result of the fact that you are not directly affected by this lie, your viewpoint possesses a significant amount of clarity. You are in the privileged position of having witnessed the performance from behind the curtain, having detected the discord that lay underlying the harmony that they projected before other people recognized the show for what it actually was. The legal procedure will proceed in accordance with its own time frame to be followed. The gathering of evidence, recording of witnesses, and filing of charges will take place. The machines that make up the legal system move at their own pace, which may be quite frustrating for individuals who are waiting for a result. You should refrain from attempting to speed up this process by employing your own interventions and instead let it occur naturally. There has already been a beginning to the inevitable emergence of the truth. There is nothing that can stop its complete disclosure. Now give careful consideration to the life lessons that are implicit in this experience. Not only did your spiritual discernment prove to be an abstract concept, but it also demonstrated its ability to provide practical protection against tangible threats. This is an example of the highest level of practical spirituality, which could be described as the manifestation of inner wisdom as physical safety. At times like these, the distinction between the material and metaphysical realities becomes less clear, thereby illuminating the basic relationship between the two. People who chose you as a possible scapegoat did so because they were under the impression that you were responsible for anything that was happening. They interpreted your spiritual sensitivity as naive, believed that your integrity was a weakness that could be exploited, and believed that your trust was vulnerable. Those individuals neglected to acknowledge the fact that these precise characteristics connect you to sources of wisdom and safety that are beyond their grasp. It turned out that the characteristic that they considered to be your greatest weakness was actually your greatest strength. Throughout the entirety of your voyage, this pattern will take place. Individuals who are operating from lower frequencies of consciousness have a tendency to misread and underestimate individuals who are functioning at higher vibrations. A type of spiritual camouflage is created as a result of this misunderstanding, which enables you to walk through specific situations without being identified for who you really are when you are there. The purpose of this is not a coincidence, but rather a heavenly design, to provide a protective hue for people who are bringing light into territories that are gloomy. When viewed from a more elevated vantage point, the embezzlement plan itself reflects more than just a straightforward instance of financial crime. The distortion that takes place as a result of individuals distancing themselves from universal ideals such as integrity, reciprocity, and service is carried out by it. There is a corruption that occurs when money, which was created to ease the exchange of value, becomes an end in itself, and it is pursued by all methods available. The fundamental disease of awareness that is afflicting your current era is exemplified by this inversion of values. You provide as a counterweight to the distortion that just occurred. The fact that you rejected their offer naturally, even before you had a conscious understanding of what it actually was, illustrates that you are in accord with higher ideals that go beyond the pursuit of monetary gain. Rather than a sign of moral superiority, this is a manifestation of vibrational congruence with cosmic truth. Due to the fact that participating in their plot would have resulted in an intolerable amount of conflict inside your energetic system, you literally could not bring yourself to do so. There is a possibility that you will be subjected to more sophisticated forms of manipulation in the days ahead, as this situation continues to develop. After they have been unsuccessful in immediately ensnaring you, they may attempt to alter your view of events, your comprehension of their objectives, or your memories of previous contacts. It is possible that they will contact you with explanations, justifications, or revisionist stories of the events that took place between the two of you. Take note of these strategies and recognize them for what they actually are: desperate attempts to manage the narrative as their deceit begins to fall apart. Keep your composure and your knowledge. There is no need for external affirmation when it comes to the truth that resonates within your core. The validity of your experience is unaffected by the degree to which other people may attempt to reframe it. This is an additional sort of spiritual testing, which is the difficulty of maintaining your connection with the truth that lies inside you, even while voices from the outside attempt to override your genuine experience. You are now being called toward a more meaningful mission by the cosmic forces that initially brought to your attention their lie. Not only did this experience serve as a means of protection against the current danger, but it also functioned as a means of preparation for expanded duty. Your discernment has become more acute as a result of the contrast between genuine instruction and falsehood that is based on manipulation. Without taking a responsibility that is beyond your capabilities, this heightened sensitivity is now available not just for your own personal safety, but also for the benefit of others who may be confronted with situations that are comparable to your own. Maintain an open mind to instances in which your experience could be of use to other people. It is possible that someone in your sphere of influence is subjected to comparable pressure to accept problematic offers or to enter into arrangements that set off minor warning signals. You may be able to trigger their own internal guiding system before any harm occurs if you provide your testimony in an appropriate manner and without providing any additional details. The effect of awakened consciousness is like a ripple that spreads beyond personal bounds, and this is what it means to expand protection beyond those borders. During the time that the embezzlement plan is being exposed to the public, there is a possibility that the financial systems in your community will encounter some disruption. To the extent that they are even remotely involved to this lie, institutions will be subjected to the necessary scrutiny. The processes of investigation may result in delays or complexities that have an impact on parties that are not responsible. Maintain a practical awareness of potential repercussions throughout this period of adjustment, while simultaneously maintaining a constant confidence that systems of integrity will ultimately emerge, enhanced as a result of this purifying process. There will be consequences that are commensurate with the behavior of the persons who are responsible for orchestrating this deceit. The principle of universal law guarantees that energy will always return to its origin with absolute accuracy. This is not a form of retribution or revenge. Rather, it is the mathematical certainty of equilibrium that is looking for expression via the experience of humans. Their attempt to shift the responsibility for their karmic debt onto your shoulders was unsuccessful. Now, with the intensity that has been gathered, that weight returns to the point where it originated. It is still quite clear and well-defined what your responsibilities are in this circumstance. Stay in the middle of things. When it is required, speak the truth. Be silent when it is proper to do so. Without any reservations, put your faith in your direction and give the process of revelation the opportunity to unfold in accordance with its own appropriate timing. The cosmic mechanisms that are currently in action are neither accelerated nor impeded by this. Your role evolves from that of a potential victim to that of a conscious witness, allowing you to observe while maintaining a heightened awareness of how universal principles emerge via particular human circumstances. The revelation that is going to be broken into the consciousness of the general public serves as a microcosm representing a shift in the macrocosm. In every corner of your world, institutions that are constructed on dishonesty are inevitably going to be exposed. In the process of approaching their point of insustainability, financial structures, political arrangements, institutional hierarchies, and social contracts that are predicated upon incorrect concepts are all approaching their limits. What takes place in your town as a result of this particular embezzlement plan is a reflection of the processes that are taking place on a national and international scale. Within the context of this more comprehensive restructuring, you have a pivotal position. Through your dedication to spiritual guidance, you have effectively navigated possible entrapment, so demonstrating the path that is available to humanity during this era of intensifying revelation. Your experience both serves as a personal victory and as a global template, which is an individual expression of the collective potential for discernment-based navigation across increasingly difficult ethical terrain. It is important to keep in mind the sequence of events that led you to this point of realization when the embezzlement scheme is eventually brought to the attention of the general public. It is important to remember the subtle discomfort that indicated the presence of danger before your conscious mind could explain the threat. Bear in mind the pressure that was employed in order to overcome your reluctance. Keep in mind the sense of relief that came about as a result of your decision to put your faith in your own inner understanding, rather than on the influence of others. This sequence offers the key pattern for spiritual navigation through the tough transitions that characterize your current age. It is designed to help you accomplish this. It is via synchronicity and alignment that the cosmos communicates with us. The advent of this warning at precisely the moment when you required it is an example of the perfect timing that the universe has provided.